5 seconds to go. Start. Namaskar. It gives me immense pleasure to be here today, joining you all as the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurates the new Nalanda University. You are all well conversant with the great reputation of the ancient Nalanda University for 8 centuries as a center of knowledge and wisdom. It also served a larger role by connecting our society with those of our near and far neighbors through land and sea. The exchanges that it fostered enriched our entire continent. The university's destruction marked a downturn in our history, and that dark phase continued through the colonial period. In that era, we not only saw a decline in our capabilities and confidence, but in our connectivity as well with those nations who are now members of the East Asia Summit. In the rebuilding of the Nalanda University, there are multiple messages, both national and international. Friends, today we are here to witness the revival of a global bridge of learning that can build relationships even further than in the past. Education, training, and capacity building are the most effective ways of promoting international understanding. This is a particular commitment that we all must have towards the global south. I am especially glad to note that Nalanda University is already working both in India and Asian member states towards creating an Asian India University network. The schools and centers of this university have also been consciously chosen to highlight the purpose of this university. It is a matter of satisfaction that the student community is drawn from so many nations and regions of the world. Friends, the occasion today is obviously a notable one for higher learning in India. It also marks the realization of a long standing commitment by India to the East Asia Summit grouping. It reflects the seriousness with which we pursue our Act East policy. But most of all, it underlines Bharat's endeavor to emerge as a Vishwabandhu, extending the hands of friendship and cooperation to the international community. By doing so, we contribute to the rejuvenation of civilizational linkages, to the celebration of our shared cultural heritage, and to the appreciation of the immense diversity of our existence. I thank you for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to join you all at the CII Annual Business Summit 2024, and it is only appropriate that the theme this year is one of co creating the future responsibly. After all, we are in the midst of making crucial decisions about the future of the nation. As I will share with you, this happens in a challenging global context and will both contribute to what is happening in the world as well as be shaped by it. If one looks at the last 5 to 10 years, there is actually a strong contrast between the direction of India and the state of the world. At home, we have seen robust growth, sweeping reforms, radically improved governance, fiscal discipline, infrastructure progress, rapid digitization, and a focus on developing skills. The formula that has delivered is a combination of Make in India, making it easier to do business, enhancing the ease of living, committed implementation of Gati Shakti, large scale socio economic programs, a startup and innovation culture, and the upgrading of human resources. These, I remind you, have taken place overcoming the daunting challenges of the COVID pandemic. As a result, the outlook in India, not just the growth rate, the outlook in India is positive and confident. It says so much that the party in power is actually campaigning on its record of the last decade, reflecting a mood of pro incumbency. In fact, it is this foundation that allows the nation to plan ahead for the next 25 years with Viksit Bharat as our goal. The world, however, looks very different, in fact, very difficult. The impact and overhang of COVID on the global economy remains strong. There is a widespread realization of the dangers of over-concentration, be it in manufacturing or technology. We all saw for ourselves how our supply chains were disrupted and how the demand supply imbalance was leveraged. This concern is now manifested in the endeavors to build more resilient and reliable supply chains, diversify centers of production, and to the extent feasible, de risk the global economy. Developments in the digital domain have further added to this trend. In an era that values data privacy and data security, and which is poised on the threshold of an AI revolution, trust and transparency are now at a premium when it comes to sourcing and when it comes collaboration. The challenge here is less that of multiplicity of the supply chain and more one of its integrity and of its origin. Where the digital and manufacturing domains meet, as they do in the world of semiconductors, the predicament is doubly acute. For India, these are challenges that, with the right leadership, are being converted into opportunities. Make in India can enable us to enter the global supply chains in a break from the past. The anxieties that stem from the COVID experience have been further magnified by the conflicts, tensions, and divides of our era. A decade and a half ago, the narrative was one of harmonious globalization, of peaceful rise, and of win win situations. Even a few years ago, the prospect of significant conflicts on a prolonged basis was inconceivable. The Abraham Accords, for example, held so much promise. On key challenges like climate change and terrorism, the hope was that convergences would actually grow. SDG targets for 2030 actually appeared within reach. Stowe.